Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to World of Wrestling at this time. If you are a first time watcher of this channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, as well as hit the like button after you get a chance to watch this video. And folks, today we are doing the NXT Great American Bash Night 2 results here tonight. I'm changing things up a bit. Plus, also, I haven't done a review on NXT in about 2 or 3 weeks now. So it has been a while since I've done anything for it, for NXT anyway. So I thought I'd go ahead and take an opportunity with this having a World Championship matchup, title for title match, being the main event for Night 2 compared to what AEW is doing this because of the pandemic situation that happened. We weren't going to get the AEW World title match that we were looking forward to, which I was, actually, with Jon Moxley versus Brian Cage. But since we are not getting that this week, I'm going to go ahead and watch. I watched this show first, and then I'm going to watch AEW after I do this review here tonight. So, going straight into things right to the get-go, my main reason of watching the show, of course, was for the title for title match between Keith Lee and Adam Cole, baby. And I gotta say that Adam Cole and Keith Lee stole the fucking show, hands down with no problem, number one. Number two, this was a fantastic matchup, very entertaining shit. Keith Lee won in the best way possible. Adam Cole looked great. He fought his heart out to try to retain and win the NXT North American Championship. And, of course, either one of these guys winning this matchup would have been walking away making history, which is what happened here tonight. Keith Lee wins the NXT World Championship and remains the North American Champion at the same time. There was no shenanigans. There was no outside interferences. There was nothing going on during this event. It was a straight up one-on-one match with no outside interference, and it was just a fun main event. I hope AEW put on a good show as well. I'm pretty sure they did. This was a decent show too overall. I actually did not have any complaints with it so much. There was a few matches that didn't feel like pay-per-view quality. Most of the matches actually didn't. They felt like regular TV quality, but some of the matches they had on the card were actually very good matches too. For example, the street fight with Candice LeRae versus Mia Yim. Outstanding matchup. These two women beat the shit out of each other for 30 minutes straight almost, and Candice LeRae walks away with the victory, going ahead and doing a swinging neck breaker from the top rope onto a pile of chairs and getting the 1, 2, 3. Outstanding work by both women. Was very impressed by what they did tonight. I was very happy with that matchup. We had Bronson Reed and Tony Nese in a very decent, okay matchup as a second match on the show. Fortunately, Tony Nese is taking another loss. I don't know why the hell they have him on TV if they have no plans for him to be pushed as, something on this show. I mean, he's a downright Dolph Ziggler wannabe jobber, man. This guy's got great talent, yet he's losing in every important matchup. Even building some kind of momentum for this guy is too hard for this company to do with him. I mean, I would wonder, why wouldn't they just release the guy after this pandemic's over? I mean, this guy's not being used correctly, and he's a very good talent, I think, in my opinion. Bronson Reed picks up the victory here, and that's pretty much the story on that. Robert Stone, he's got to go. I am getting sick and tired of him going after these names on the women's division that are promising or have made it big on the NXT roster, like Rhea Ripley. Every woman he gets in contact with, he makes pathetic. He not ruins their career entirely, but he weakens their build. And Shotzi Blackheart was his next woman that he wanted to recruit to the Robert Stone brand. This guy's a fucking joke. I mean, bottom line, I don't care for him whatsoever. He spilled some coffee on Killian Dane. This guy, his gimmick is so horrible. Like, his gimmick is like a disease, anything it touches. It's pretty sick. I don't like it at all. I think he's a fucking waste of time. So we get Johnny Gargano versus Isaiah Swerve Scott. Good matchup. These men beat the shit out of each other. Excellent match. Isaiah Scott looked great, even in defeat. Outstanding. Loved it. We had Breezango and Drake Maverick versus the Legendo della Fantasma. Don't really care for this fucking match. I skipped through it because I actually kind of started a little bit late on the show, so I was able to skip through some of that stuff through the with the DVR device that I have with YouTube TV. Mackenzie Mitchell is actually backstage with Candice LeRae and Johnny Gargano, asking them about how they thought of their wins tonight. Gargano goes on about how they are the best couple in NXT and actually the whole world. Gargano says he would be a double champ tonight if Finn Balor would have stayed out of the situation during that triple threat match and would have stayed down. But unfortunately, that was not the case. He got in his way, and now he's going to make right of what was wrong in that situation. And his wife as well stated that she needs to do the same. Mercedes Martinez versus Santana Garrett. This was a one-sided beatdown, very quick win for Mercedes Martinez, who's now just made her in-ring debut to NXT. They had a video package of the Cameron Grimes versus Damian Priest feud, which will be aired next week on NXT. And this is all based off of Cameron Grimes attacking Damian Priest's ride, slashing his tires, which he has a Dodge Challenger. And he slashed his tires to this very nice vehicle. And if I was Damian Priest, I would split this guy in two, which he's very capable of doing based on the size and strength that he has compared to Cameron Grimes. So, looking forward to that one-sided ass whooping, which I hope I get to see. And then at that point, we had the winner take all match with the NXT North American Championship and the NXT World Championship with Keith Lee and Adam Cole. This, again, like I mentioned before, outstanding matchup. Adam Cole did everything he could to win this match, but unfortunately that was not the case. He ends up losing the matchup altogether. But, I mean, at the same time, Adam Cole just looked great. I'm super excited for this guy, but I'm very worried about him being moved to the main roster. Now, I will mention this. I have to admit, Matt Riddle, despite the accusations that are being placed against him in his personal life, which I hope are not true. I hope this is all just a dumb woman trying to rob him of his career, and he's proven innocent, and none of this is actually proven that he's guilty, which I hope he's not. He didn't really do. I hope that's not something he actually did, because if he did, I don't want him to go away scot-free for something like that. That's horrible. But if the accusations that were made about him were false and it was all a bunch of bullshit, then I hope he gets away with this, because he doesn't deserve it if he didn't really do any of this shit. But Matt Riddle is being utilized very well. Matt Riddle was a good performer in NXT. It's a shame that they never gave him the North American Championship or the NXT World Title. I think he would have benefited from getting an opportunity to actually feel what it's like to be a leader of the roster that he's on. But regardless of all the guys, the guy is very talented. So I'm pretty certain if used correctly, shouldn't have any issues with him being built up in the SmackDown brand. And the same thing goes for Adam Cole and his Undisputed Era group. If they utilize them like a Bullet Club or like the NWO, the Nexus even in the beginning, not near the end. At the end of the Nexus group, no, that was a fucking catastrophe waiting to happen. But what they did in the beginning was fucking fantastic. Evolution, that kind of shit, that kind of look, or the Four Horsemen, they give them that kind of look on their main roster show, they will be fine. People will still appreciate them and not hate on the WWE main roster for what they were doing to Adam Cole and his group. So they got to keep them together, number one. I don't think these four guys, I think Adam Cole could make it on his own, but I don't think Roderick Strong could. I think he'd get lost in the shuffle. Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, I think they would get away with it since they're a tag team, but separate those two and they both would be fucked. So at the end of the day, guys, the Undisputed Era need to be moved into the main roster, but they better be utilized the same way they are in NXT. It's not that hard. If we get what we've seen with them on NXT, I don't think anybody's going to have an issue with them. A lot of people might dislike them just because of the fact that they're being pushed so heavily on them. But at the end of the day, anyone that likes Adam Cole and the Undisputed Era are going to like what's being utilized by them if they're pushed so heavy on the main roster. And they don't need to do any short little build towards them becoming major stars. They can just do it right then and there. I really feel that would be the best thing for them to do. I mean, let Adam Cole go after a mid-card championship, but for the beginning portion, like the first year, and then in the second year, you could push him into a world championship opportunity. But as a group, they should be terrorizing the main roster and kicking ass on the brand that they're placed on. And that's what I hope they do if they push them to the main roster. I have no problems with them just staying in NXT at this point because I know they'll be utilized correctly, of course. But that's pretty much all I have to say, guys, at this time. Leave your comments down below. Hit the like button if you liked this video. And, of course, if you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe now. And I thank you very much for watching and have a great night, guys. Bye.